What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the It's Running Podcast, episode 41.
Also, before we start, I want to apologize for not having an episode last week. We were focused on March Madness and that
hmm
hype, so we didn't do an episode. And it's also because we forgot. Both of us at the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time just forgot.
Oh, and then another thing, too, we want to announce we are actually going to be start covering our Ring of Honor Wrestling on our
Yes, my
shows
buddy,
now.
my buddy got Honor Club earlier today, and he let
You
me
guys would
use it.
say,
He let me use his account. He's using that account too. So we watching that Ring of Honor Wrestling, keeping a close eye on Ring of Honor Wrestling, the reboot.
yeah, we'll give you a lot of recaps and stuff like that. But with that being said, if you guys are new, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely check out the links down in the description down below. But first thing, because like I said, there's some recaps that I have not did it. What's good? What is good?
What's up?
Raw. I kind of, wasn't really too fond of it. But with SmackDown, first of all, for March 17th, I thought it actually was actually a decent SmackDown. Yeah, Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes
but
doing his,
I feel like we're back to that trend where Raw is forgettable and SmackDown's decent.
and then just watch SmackDown be forgettable and Raw be decent the following week. Just watch, because that's kind of like a continuing pattern. But regardless, he had Cody Rhodes kind of
Oh
cutting his
shit! They
promo.
re-signed Silas Young. Holy crap! Silas Young's
But
back at the Ring.
AEW,
Sorry, I was freaking out. They
but yeah, I
re-signed
thought AEW.
Ring of Honor. Re-signed Silas Young, and he was on last week's episode. I was excited for
Oh
that.
damn!
Sorry about that.
What up,
I'm
Earl?
watching.
What up,
I'm
Earl?
watching Ring of Honor at the same time. So
But yeah, so Cody Rhodes cutting his promo. Surprisingly, this point in SmackDown was kind of like in this promo though, like he wanted to like I don't know, like this promo was a little bit not like Cody standards. Then he had to call and then want to get KO out there along with Sammy, um, which it led us to believe because it looked like they were rushing the I guess you could with KO and Sammy reuniting because I think less than a few days so WrestleMania at this
at
point.
that point, you had I think 12 days
Like
until the
yeah,
show.
you were less than 2 weeks away from
You're
Mania.
less than 2 weeks away. They had to rush it. I don't know why they milked it for as long as they
As
did.
long as
Like, but it was starting to go, in circles. Sammy helped KO. KO says no. Sammy helped KO. KO says no. And now it's like,
he
dude.
had to use Cody Rhodes as a mediator to fix all this shit.
And then you had to use Cody Rhodes, which actually overshadowed his part of the story for a little bit until last week on Raw, where Cody Rhodes can completely flip the script with his promo, and people care about that now.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
it's
but
it's ridiculous how long
it
they
is very.
milked it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. But then we get to our first match on the card. You had a mixed tag team match between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio taking on Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega. Now, while Ripley and Mysterio get the win, but I want to point out something I'm going to give a lot of credit to, and that's Zelina Vega getting a lot better in the ring than people will give her credit for.
Yeah, she's getting a bit better.
Oh, it was a tremendous improvement on Monday Night Raw, Earl. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it was an absolute improvement. I'll give him that.
but yeah, I thought it was a really good match between these four competitors. But like I said, with Mania around the corner, you had to keep Rhea looking strong and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of pretty much not really much to talk about. But regardless, and well, the next match, I think no one really could care for this one. You had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez take on Tegan Knox and Emma, with both Liv and Raquel pick up the victory over
Yeah,
Knox
this was one of
and
those
Emma.
throwaway matches. Like it was decent on paper, but no one really
But
cared.
yeah, no, the execution was ugh, just was just meh. And of course, we get to the promo segment between Rhea and Charlotte. I think no, really, like this is kind of well. didn't look like it was going to go anywhere towards the end, so I had to go to an all-out brawl to kind of show everything. I mean, the build to this was actually was I'm gonna say piss poor, but it was just not up to standards, I would
No.
say. And good point too. Jesus Christ, have I were this far at 9 days away from Mania?
Yeah, it's now 9 days because
But
this week is the go home shows before.
and you also got the go home show for NXT for Stand and Deliver.
Actually, not this week. Next week is the go home shows because you still
Yeah, I was
got
about to
Friday Night
say.
SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
So the
next
following
week
week
is
for
the go
go
home
home.
show. So they got to rush some storylines. The whole Sammy and KO thing.
I mean, Charlotte and
Whatever the hell they're doing with Asuka and Bianca, which has been bullshit.
that's a piss poor build if I ever saw one. um, but I will say, and then we get to our next match. Match was actually pretty good. Looks like the kind of the wrong person won in this sense. Yeah, Xavier was taking on LA Knight with Woods picking up the victory over LA Knight. Now, granted, I know, yes, was it frustrating to see LA Knight lose? Sure. But there's also been reports that they got big plans for him after Mania, so we'll see if that comes into fruition. If not, and what's the word I'm looking for here? It's going to be not great. Not a good look for LA Knight. That's all I'm going to say on that. But like I said, we had Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. That wound up being a no contest because Gunther, Buddy Man, I like your stuff, but the fact you fucked up terribly. Now you put yourself in a situation that because I thought it's like, oh, we're gonna get the are we gonna get the triple threat? It's like, nope, we're gonna get a clear, obvious winner. Nope, but we're still getting the triple threat anyway. So I mean, either way, we're getting
You
what we're
could have
at.
just did the. Here's the thing: you could have just done the controversial finish when both guys pinned their opponent at the same time, and
Yeah,
then Adam Pierce come out and go triple threat match.
yeah, and just make that
But
official and just not go through this jumping
then
hoops,
like another branching thing where you had Sheamus and Drew go against each other, and they both don't even get the finish anyway.
which is a load of crap. But either way, we still got the match regardless, even though we had to jump through hoops for that. And then you had, speaking of the
Oh
Sami Zayn,
hell! I'm watching Ring of Honor right now, and guess who just showed up?
oh boy,
Shane frickin' Taylor.
oh my god. I will say this too for the
Sorry,
Ring
I'm
of Honor
watching
for
Ring
old
of
Ring.
Honor guys from last week, and I missed it. So
Yeah, so actually before we get into the Casey show now, um, I thought that overall though, Keith Lee and Shane Taylor was such an underrated tag team before, wait in the the old Ring of Honor days, but regardless. But then we move on to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso with the Kansas City Showdown because obviously we were live. SmackDown was live in Kansas City. It was kind of interesting, but like I said, you had kind of a bit of a beatdown after earlier to start the show off. You had KO just drive away. It's just like, what? All right, but sorry about that. I had a bit of a conversation with a coworker of mine. So yeah, obviously,
it's all good, man. Teamwork makes that dream work, and keep a business afloat. You gotta talk
oh
to your
yeah. But before I got interrupted, because earlier before the show SmackDown kicked off, you had KO kind of driving away, or after the promo segment, or between Cody Rhodes, KO, and Sammy, which led to like I said, that rush finish to get that embrace that, like I said, they've been milking this for about over a month at this point. But and then the following Raw we got what we got needed. Hey, we got the tag match, but like I said, really much not much Raw. Um, um, NXT I kind of slacked on NXT a little bit. But well, we're gonna skip to AEW Dynamite, but I'm actually Dynamite was actually really good this week. Yeah, Darby. Who would have thought Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Sting would make a team taking on Kick Sabian and the Butcher and the Blade to kick off AEW Dynamite.
You
But
know,
with Orange Cassidy and
that was a solid opener.
yeah, yeah, I mean I like that. You had the Guns taking on Top Flight. That was the next match for the tag team titles.
Team
Um,
match right there.
I mean, he had honestly the next with Guns retaining, but still Top Flight. Tony Khan, I know that Tony Khan. At some point, you're gonna have to keep these guys on the tag in that tag team title picture. Because Top Flight, they're continuing to impress me each and every week on the AEW television. Now we get to I guess you could say this is a throwaway match. You had Hook and Stokely Hathaway. Um,
Dude,
fuck.
it killed me in the beginning. He goes, I'm hurt. I got a doctor's note. And then the ref grabs it, rips it up. As soon as the bell rings, he's hauling ass.
And then
I'm
you had
cracking
Justin
up
Roberts
the
say,
entire goddamn time.
no, Justin Roberts said, like, this is a receipt from Wingstop. I was like,
Yeah, he's like, yo, yeah, I love how Justin Roberts killed him. Mikey goes, bullshit. That's a goddamn Wingstop receipt.
Wingstop receipt. And the commentary, man, they just continue to crack me up as well and say, man, he doesn't even want to order wings in the ring. I don't know, that was Taz, but regardless, Hook gets the win. I'm still very impressed with Hook in this very short time in AEW. But then you had Adam Cole to cut a promo before Daniel Garcia kind of interrupts him because now we got next week we get the in-ring return of Adam Cole. So it's gonna be Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia on AEW Dynamite. Okay.
Hold on, I'll be back.
All right, man. Yeah. Yeah, you ain't ruined, Jeffy. What up? Yes, so at least just for the entertainment purposes, but oh god, get a drink really quick. But while Tyler takes, we'll come back for just a second. Well, we can actually look at that promo though. I'm just really excited to see it. Honestly, I don't think that's happening. I don't think Goldberg's coming to AEW. Just needs to retire. That's all I'm saying. And I wouldn't say mid. It was like I said, that was that one match that was actually really it's like a decent show. But yeah, that promo segment though. I want to give Daniel Garcia a lot of credit too, though. I mean, I get you. Like I said, I mean that Stokely Hathaway match should never have happened, but who am I to put stuff together? But it is what it is. But still, it may be a mid show, but it was still pretty decent to watch. For Wednesday night for sure. And Raw this week was actually pretty much forgettable. So yeah, you know what? I agree. The filler was not too. Oh yeah, like I said, it's okay, but wasn't great to expect. No, it's a standard in some way standards, but what am I to say? I'm just a general. Just I think we're. Dang it, Earl! Someone needs to put that on a T-shirt. Someone's got to put that on a T-shirt. But what's good, John? O? All right. Let's hope so, because actually I'm going to because me and Tyler will be live for SmackDown this week, so it's going to be fun. And hopefully the go home show will be good too. Because like I said, we got in as Earl said in comments. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. WrestleMania is less than 9 days away from WrestleMania. Well, we'll see. I don't know about that. I've not really read much about that. So I really can't really say. But going back to Dynamite, though, going back to like to the Adam Cole promo, I'm really excited to see his in ring return. Um, because it's like it's been how the yeah, I agree. Because knowing that you have some stories you are going to get rushed for sure. Which we have seen. I guess as you can see the last week and a half, depending on the show. But that's just me. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. But we'll see how they put this together. But then again, who's going to be on which card's going to be which? So we have to wait till see come Saturday. I'm going to say, but yeah, with how everything's kind of been built, or not say built, even though this barrel's been kind of below average, just in terms of the storytelling and the way that the build has not been fantastic. And to be quite frankly, though, it's yeah, I don't know, man. It's been very yeah, that is true. I've seen people say, I think the Bloodline should just main event both nights of WrestleMania, and rightfully so. I mean, that's what I would do, because that's kind of what's kind of keeping this. I would say the show being terrible. I think it's kind of. I would say it's what's going to help at least. Yeah, maybe Edge and Balor. So, which was that we have to wait and see how that turns out to be. But like I said, it's just one of those things. But yeah, this.
Bro, you were going to crack up.
Oh my God, Tyler! What
the reason why my mom and brother told me to mute myself on the stream and to come check something out. There's an animal, like a small animal, like a squirrel or something, in our fireplace.
Oh my God!
And we have like one of those like fireplaces with like a latch on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Bro. We're like, what the hell do we do?
But yeah, so going back to the Adam Cole promo, like it's just like when since Daniel Garcia said he was a lock and load, that it looked like the reaction to Adam Cole like that. He didn't look like he took a little bit of offense to that in a way.
Yeah, he didn't.
But I'm just excited to see Adam Cole back in the ring because let's be real, it's been far too fucking long.
Next week, brother. Next week.
And then I mean, thank God he left WWE when he did because good lord. From the
and I absolutely love the decision to have Daniel Garcia to go against him because he's a.
Oh yeah.
Because to me, I think Daniel Garcia is a rising star.
Yeah, and there's been like him teasing that he could potentially split away from the Jericho Appreciation Society. Well, we'll see how that goes, but we get to our next match on the card. We had Jon Moxley and Stu Grayson going at it. Look, despite Stu Grayson losing, it was very physical between the two.
For me, the entire time I was confused. I'm like, when the hell did Stu Grayson resign? And then I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that was like, because we talked about this way before the show. And it's like, what? Like, it was a head scratcher.
No, we didn't talk about it before the show. We talked about it as it was happening. We were both questioning, like, when the hell did Stu Grayson
resign? When the hell did that happen?
Like, when did this happen?
There was no news. Just think about it. There was like no news or reports, or just like say, like any individual resigned with the company. I was like, okay, that's.
There were news, but it wasn't really heavily like reported.
Yeah,
so I didn't see anything on social media or anything like that.
Yeah,
like I'm sitting there like, what?
Stu Grayson's still with the company? I'm surprised he didn't leave. But he's back apparently. But held his own. Then again, that is Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson's just fucking too talented.
Stu Grayson was never bad.
But
he was always a tremendous talent to have.
But with Moxley picking up the win via the Bulldog or the Bulldog show. But yeah, and unfortunately, Stu Grayson couldn't catch a break either, and he gets choked out again with, after his match after getting looked at by Doc Sampson. It's like, jeez. But I kind of like this a little bit of a new mean streak to the Blackpool Combat Club. But regardless, um, then we get our first women's match of the night. We get Tony Storm taking on Sky Blue.
I expect so many great things to happen for Sky Blue. She had a tremendous reaction last night. Tremendous reaction, man. The crowd loves her. The crowd loves her, man.
Oh, she was fantastic last night.
She was awesome in that match. I know it was a losing effort, but I'm glad and I know she's been losing a lot, but I'm glad they're letting her showcase her skills in the ring.
And they're still thinking highly of her.
And they're thinking very highly of her. That's why she's being used constantly now, as opposed to like, oh, she's a jobber that occasionally appears.
Yeah,
she's still losing, but she's losing in competitive matches, and she's being used more prominently than ever. They're thinking highly of her. They're just waiting for that right time to push her.
Yeah, because the talent, you can see even on AEW Dark, the talent is there.
Yeah.
And when she can give her, if you can give her that kind of a being aggressive baby face, I'm already sold on the way that her talent truly is. And she can soar really highly on the women's division.
Because look at Jamie Hayter. I don't think she was winning constant matches before.
No.
She was losing some matches because she was still very green. And then she got better and better and better. She got over. And now she's a world champion. And also, I got news. The reason why she did not show up last night was because she had to go back to England to get her visa renewed.
Yeah, which
because it is a work visa. It's not your standard live in America visa. It's just a work visa. So she has to constantly get it renewed, every few months or so.
But I was going to mention this too. I mean, at some point, I think she has to take in consideration. She can actually just live the unit. She can apply, like you said.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, dude, Jamie.
I mean, it'd be less of a hassle.
Don't just like. I know you love your family in England. You want to, stay in England, live in England, and that's fine. That's your decision. But if you don't want issues like that, just live here.
Or apply for citizenship.
We welcomed you with open arms here. Like, you can stay here.
But regardless, when we get to the main event, I gotta say, holy crap. Kenny Omega taking on El Hijo del Vikingo.
Bro. I was yelling at you in on Messenger.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, Vikingo, whatever the hell his name is. That man is freaking impressive. Holy hell, this man hit a freaking Hurricane Rana and a goddamn two moves at one.
Yeah, on the top, especially on the top of the ring post.
Front flip. He hit a front flip into a Hurricane Rana. And then he did a suicide dive by having one foot on the middle rope and catapults himself over with one foot.
Like it's.
Oh my god!
And the fact that I gotta give Tony Khan a lot of credit for finding the best talent he can for Kenny Omega, because let's be real, they tore the fucking house down on that. Main event.
They tore that, and yes, some people might not like the match because they don't like spot fest. But, in today's wrestling, that's wrestling nowadays. And for what it was great. For what it was.
Oh, yeah. And, man, I feel bad for Kenny. I know he's going to be fucking sore the next couple of days. Because, good God. And before the bell rung, Phil King was like, he's like, screw it. I'm not fucking waiting for the bell ring. So let's just take the fight to Kenny Omega already. Like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Like, he immediately went off through Kenny and the bell didn't even ring.
Like, this is why a lot of times, I've watched this man in AAA. This dude's fucking entertaining as hell.
Oh, my God. Yeah, dude.
Like, that's why you have guys like the Lucha Bros who
You were telling me before the match, be prepared, and I still wasn't prepared. Like what?
Dude, this dude has shown, and he's that's the reason why he's the AAA Mega Champion in the first place. And the fact that I kind of and the gimmick that he has, I like it. But yeah,
The
with Kenny Omega picks up the win.
that he has is awesome. The son of the Viking.
But yeah, so Kenny Omega does pick up the win, barely. Because man, there was a few times like I thought Kenny was going to take an L on this one. There was some few moments where I thought Kenny Omega was going to take an L to Vikingo. But just, oh man, I'm going to be feeling bad for Kenny Omega because I know his body was fucking hurting.
I thought he legit got hurt, but he didn't. I looked back that whole Hurricane Rana spot where he landed on top of his dome.
Yeah,
he actually landed kind of like on the back, the back of his neck. He landed clean. He landed clean. He wasn't really hurt.
But
he's fine.
And they also said,
and plus that beatdown after the match kind of made me think, oh, he's fine.
Oh yeah, but Kenny Omega. I mean, no matter what kind of time you bring in, whether it's from Japan or AAA in Mexico, he's always still going to find a way to tear the house. And that is just who Kenny Omega truly is. But
Kenny Omega,
that's pretty much
what we saw last night was close to the best bout machine.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
that's something that Kenny. I mean, I think probably even better than the best bout machine.
Yeah,
if I want to be completely honest. But regardless, that's pretty much NXT. That's Dynamite. Because like I said, I really haven't really covered Raw and NXT because I kind of like a little bit.
Yeah, you were put off by those two shows this week.
Well, okay, but NXT. Well, I was doing the World Baseball Classic on.
Yeah. Me and you were doing the freaking baseball. So we didn't watch it.
Oh, good lord, which is not great. That's why. But by the time, so getting right into some other stuff was that the first thing, and Tyler, you brought this to our attention. Roxanne Perez is reported to return to Stand and Deliver.
So that means that the whole undisclosed injury was either the kayfabe thing or she was just like sick or something. I don't know what went on with her. But
or maybe she could have
the plan is that she's going to return at Stand and Deliver and enter herself into that ladder match. Which she should if it's a kayfabe injury, because why strip her of the title if it's a kayfabe injury?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't see the point in that.
Yeah, that was okay. Well, I'm not gonna question that, but regardless, I know this topic was kind of a little bit old because when I had this written down before they actually made was looking like KO and Sammy could be headlining main event night one of WrestleMania. But by the time I wrote to put this, when this came out, there were some quote unquote political reasons that wouldn't allow the Usos with KO and Sammy headline WrestleMania night one. Then we come to find out that, and shout out my boy DJ Storm's actually pointing this out. It was pretty much probably must be Charlotte doing her backstage policy, because the fact that she was snubbed out one WrestleMania kind of pissed her off and tried to.
This is exactly why no one likes Charlotte. She's a freaking egomaniac, and I'm not shocked that happened. I'm not shocked.
But I don't think Triple H is not going. I don't think Triple H is going to allow that. So
I don't think so either. If it was Vince, he would have played Yes Man.
Oh yeah, Vince.
If it was Vince, he'd play Yes Man her. Okay, all right, whatever.
But it's looking like it's trending into that could be the main event for night one. And I think I said this too. I think if wrestling is going to go do it right, have the Bloodline main event on both nights. If that's the case, because that's kind of the hottest thing going for them. But yeah, so we had that. But this isn't like a topic or like a news report, but a kind of a question, shall we say? Because knowing that AEW Rampage, the viewership has
I
not
don't
been.
believe anything Meltzer says, but I do think she is like slight. Like I do agree
I
with
think there's a
his
slight.
take there. I think she is legitimately hurt, or they wouldn't have done that spot with her fainting. I feel like she is
Yeah,
legitimately hurt, but
but
how
they're
bad
just not
the
telling us.
severity of it is is underlying. We don't know. So
Exactly. We
she
don't.
could appear in stand deliver. She couldn't appear. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, we'll have to wait till we have to wait until see Saturday.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens
But
Saturday.
the question is,
So you
talking about
could be
AEW
right. You
Rampage,
could be right, Damien. You could be right. So
but even though as much as we want to shit on Dave Meltzer because the dude is completely fucking out of touch, that's besides the point.
what do you mean, Damien? You say shit on Damien?
No,
Or Mel? Oh,
no, Dave Meltzer.
oh, Meltzer. Meltzer. Yeah. As much as we want to shit on Meltzer, I feel like he is right here. I feel like he is right.
Yeah, Damien. Yeah, that's a good point. But speaking of AEW Rampage, you know it's not a news report, but this is kind of like, in a way, like a hypothetical question. In a way, knowing that AEW Rampage's viewership has not been great, but do you think AEW should put Rampage on a different day and try to? Because let's be real, because I think after
Here's
Friday
the
night, like
problem. They shot themselves. I think they should. But where are they going to put it? Monday's booked. Tuesday's booked. Wednesday's booked. Thursday's booked. Fridays are booked.
well,
And
right
that's
now the next come
Saturdays
right
you
now they
have
have
like
a special
additional preview for WWE.
or
So you're gonna
or
you're screwed either way.
but I think and Dina Shores brought up a good point too. Like in
I would
IC their view
actually, they're planning on doing like a wrestling show at 6:30 on Saturdays, like the old '80s days. I think you should do that with Rampage. But
I
Rampage,
think they should because think about it because look at Friday night because you already had because after SmackDown like no one's got nothing else no one's doing everything else because you got your fill of wrestling and Saturday's
and
like
plus Rampage runs what, an hour?
at least about an hour or so like that
So
hour and a half.
have it from maybe 6 to 7. The 7 and it doesn't like hinder any WWE pay-per-views either because their pre-show starts at 7. So
Yeah,
you could have Rampage at 6 o'clock on Saturdays.
and then
You
once that's
could
done and you already
once that's done, you got your pre-show for WWE,
show
then you got your
and then you
main show
probably
for whatever pay-per-view, and then
yeah
you're
at eight
done for the
o'clock
day.
yeah so you already got your fill right there for the month for Saturday. But yeah, but I agree though. I don't know. I don't know. Impact hasn't really. I've watched a few.
We
Impact just has not.
for me, Impact. I've kind of been turned off by Impact because of the smaller crowd.
Yeah, it doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't hit the same. Now,
No,
whichever
because I
brand
mean,
that thrives off of a small crowd, but Impact used to have bigger crowds. So them having
yeah,
smaller crowds just turns me off.
yeah. It just like, and you know that the viewership is not the greatest other way in terms of Impact.
Oh yeah, I
But
was shocked
regardless,
by that, Chad. I watched that episode too. I rewatched it. I did not know she had pipes on her, man. She can
yeah.
sing.
I mean, yeah. So congrats to her.
Yeah,
But
congrats to her, and also, great job of catching that skin cancer because she had that skin cancer on her face, and she had it
oh yeah, I
removed.
forgot it.
Um, good job catching that, and good job to the doctors for catching that too. Um, because untreated skin
I
cancer,
didn't
of
know
course, is
that.
like other skin cancer. Yeah, she had like a minor case of skin cancer, so they just removed it and called it a day. So it wasn't really a big deal
Yes, well, that's news to me. But regardless,
because it was like a minor. It was
speaking
minor.
of
I think it was like stage. I would think it'd be. I think it was like stage 1. So it was like just
okay,
formed.
jeez. Well, I mean, like you said, I mean, but hey, they got rid of it and be done with it. But speaking of WrestleMania, we're going to stick with that. WWE does have a backup opponent, or reportedly has a backup WrestleMania opponent for Bobby Lashley, which is going to be turned out which turn it's going to be turned. It looks like it's going to be LA Knight against Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, and that's from what
Yeah,
some of the reports. Oh, and yeah, and
yeah,
Foster Moreau
right
as
now,
well.
right now, we don't know what to trust right now because you have WWE not saying anything about it. It's being rumored. Stone Cold saying that he's not showing up, so we don't know what to
Like
believe.
everything, everything's up in the air, pretty much. But this is usually the time of year, especially
What
with
the
WrestleMania.
hell is this shitty '80s gimmick?
What the hell?
The Outrunners.
Oh yeah, they were AEW jobbers.
Bro, they look like '80s jobbers.
Yeah, that's out there. But obviously, we know WrestleMania is usually where we're going to see a
One
lot
dude
of
has a
stuff.
porn stash and blonde hair. What the hell?
But like I said, especially with WrestleMania coming around the corner, it's usually the day after. We might be seeing some releases, whatnot. So
Right.
WWE is definitely going to make some. Is going to it's getting ready to or ready for releases of talent, and not just from the talent side of things, even like the staff itself is not even safe from cutbacks. Um, yeah, that's something I think we're going to be keeping an eye out for, because that's anyone can pretty much be out of the company like a blink of an eye.
Right.
But that's here.
Yeah.
We're going to wait and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Switchblade Jay White. There's been a lot of talks of where he might go, but he is in talks with both AEW and WWE. After losing to Hikuleo, thank God I actually had that right pronunciation, but that's besides the point.
Hikuleo is not a hard name to pronounce, though.
But still, after a
What have you
lucha
been calling
Japan
him,
match,
Hikuleo?
that's what my brain was telling me.
Hikuleo.
But
Hikuleo.
regardless, yeah,
Hikuleo.
don't hold it to me. And when you bust my chops, when I say about the term buckle pad,
Dude, I'm your best friend. I'm gonna bust your chops any chance I get, dude.
yeah, that's true. But Switchblade Jay White's been kind of like floating around both WWE and AEW since with that uh, loser lose Japan match to Hikuleo. So we'll have to wait and see where he goes.
I'm gonna say
He,
this right now, realistically, I think he may go. This is just me predicting. Don't take this with a grain of salt. It's just me predicting. I feel like he's just gonna go to AEW.
I can see that.
I don't see
you
him
already
going.
have Juice Robinson. That's a possibility. I mean, he has shown he's been on AEW TV once before, so I mean, could be a possibility. But like I said, we don't know exactly for sure. But going back to WWE, so so there's been a lot of talks that Pat McAfee is not going to be returning anytime soon because obviously for personal reasons, knowing that his wife he has a baby on the way, so he's going to be on for TV for quite a while until he comes back to SmackDown. So right now we're going to be
He's not coming back to SmackDown, Rob. He's not, because they already named Wade Barrett as the permanent replacement for Pat. So he may come back to wrestle part time, maybe for WWE, because he can wrestle. So he might come back as like a part time wrestler.
Even though it's funny when he sold that Stone Cold Stunner at WrestleMania.
This man spits out the beer and then he continues to sell it. While he's doing it, he's pouring the beer in his gullet. Like what?
But
and they cut to him, and I started dying when it happened.
Not gonna lie though, I mean it's gonna suck, but I think Wade Barrett has really done a good job on SmackDown as kind of
Wade Barrett's actually been a solid replacement.
So I mean, but yeah, but the last thing, like I said, I really didn't really much written down because especially with the recasts, especially with both NXT and Raw, we haven't really covered as much or really watched as much. So former WWE superstar Saray actually opened up on her WWE her departure from the company. For those who kind of don't know, like she kind of been I was
I
just floundering.
expect that shit to happen. They turned her into a goddamn schoolgirl.
But she did open up with an interview from with Gene Saito on Dropkick. She basically says, "quote I made a decision that I was being that I was scouted. I'm really glad that I was challenging America. It was a great experience for me as a professional wrestler because I was able to experience many things that I wouldn't have had the chance in a normal life. This experience has become a real asset for me, and I would like to make the most of this experience when I return to Japan. I wanted to rampage in the professional wrestling world as Saray, obviously spelled with three E's, not with the two Y's and the A, who has absorbed in the world." End quote. So that's
Well, I
so
gotta say,
Saray, like,
well, way to put over the states. America loves you too, Saray. We'll miss you here in the states. WWE, you messed up great talent. Just saying.
mm-hmm, they really did. But it's like, and that too, like I said, there wasn't like I said, they really had nothing for it a lot of time, especially during NXT. But
What the hell are you munching on?
oh yeah, a cookies
Oh,
and cream
nice.
brownie.
What are you turning into Mitch all of a sudden?
Shut up.
I'm kidding.
But dude, these things are fucking banging.
Right.
But regardless, like you said, I think she's gonna fucking kill it anywhere she goes.
Oh,
I
she
wouldn't
is
be
for
surprised.
sure.
And
Dude, dude, Damien, this this old dude was flopping around before he even got hit with the stunner. Of course, yeah, that
yeah,
was way better than Vince, bro. He was
I
flopping
mean,
around before he even got hit. He got grabbed by Stone Cold, and that made him stumble. Like
I mean,
what?
shit, can't get even love to Byron Saxton, who sold it pretty good too.
Byron Stackson made me laugh. That whole the, no
But yeah,
that whole segment in 2020 with when it was COVID and they were trying to make the best of COVID, and then you have this Mark named Byron Saxton just saying "Hell yeah" like a doofus, and then he gets in the ring, gets stunned anyway. Once by Stone Cold and once by Becky.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was funny as
that
hell.
that really was. But like I said, going back to Saray though, man, it was a shame though, man, because I mean, talk about phenomenal talent that you just dropped the ball with. It's getting to the point where it's just like WWE's got to realize too, like you gotta like gotta figure out how to work with everybody and not to drop the ball on potential stars in the making. I mean, think about it. Saray, Adam Cole, Keith Lee's another one that comes to mind. Who
They
else am I
turned him
missing?
into Bearcat. What the? I'm still mad about that.
I,
Here's the thing: we're gonna call you Bearcat and put you in a skirt.
or the singlet actually.
It was a skirt over the singlet.
Oh yeah.
A
Oh
skirt
god.
over the goddamn singlet, and he wrestled in it.
I, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, who else am I thinking of that they dropped the ball on? Can't think of anything else. Uh,
Eric Young got screwed.
oh man,
That whole damn faction
just
he was in got screwed. Except
Sanity.
for the only one that didn't really get screwed was Nikki Cross. Oh wait, they turned her into a goddamn superhero.
And then took Triple H to fucking get it back to what she really originally was back
It
for
took Triple H to
NXT
take
days.
over to get it back what he was. If Vince was still, really
Oh
booking,
yeah,
if didn't retire, she would have still been a freaking stupid ass superhero.
oh yeah, and it should be just be flying around in the lower mid card if you're lucky.
Yep.
Um, I mean, there's a lot that they dropped the ball on. But then again, though it's just like I mean they dropped the ball with carrying cross. I mean they've kind of been well in a sense before. Um, but I don't know about that. But like I said, I mean, which God damn it, Tyler. Now you got me fucking having call him Bearcat, you bastard.
Don't call him Bearcat.
Um,
Don't call him that, dude.
that was really. I will say that was a stupid idea. As a first, I paid homage to an old wrestler. His nickname was a Bearcat's like
I thought
on
it was.
paper,
I
yes,
thought it was just like him paying homage to an old wrestler. It was really just something racist for Vince to do.
yeah. Then again,
That was
though, I
what it was.
mean,
It was
shit.
racism.
I mean, shit. That's not the only time Vince has been
The
in
dude
his
dropped an
gracious.
N bomb on live TV in front of Booker
I
T.
and no, not just in Booker T and John Cena looked like what the like John Cena at the time when he was champion. It's like what the hell did he look shocked?
He looked.
Oh, it's like
He looked taken aback. Freaking Booker looked pissed off, and rightfully so.
like it's like why? And the fact he was and a white guy pulling off a do rag too. Oh God, that's even worse. I thought that was
No,
worse.
that wasn't racist. That was just an old guy trying to be hip, and it looked bad.
That was just cringe. That it's so bad.
That was just
It's
cringe. That was like your parents trying to be hip in front of your kids.
I was
Cringe.
like, what the?
That was like that's what that felt like. It didn't feel racist in that part. It felt like he was just trying to. He was doing that because he thought it was edgy and cool and hip. But he's an
I was
old
like,
dude, so it just came off as cringe.
it cringe, but yeah, kind of laughable looking back at it. But then again, though, I mean, it's like, I mean, now it's just like we've seen like these. I mean, going back to like I said with WWE dropping the ball. I mean, think about it. I mean, not just for dropping the ball, but some got out when they actually could, and that's real, kept their careers intact. Obviously,
Yeah,
one in particular is Adam
look at Adam
Cole.
Cole. Look at Adam Cole, right? He let his contract expire and went to AEW because Vince was going to call him up to be a manager of Maximum Male Models.
And actually, there's been rumors too that he wanted to have him shave his head and stuff like that.
Shave his head
like,
and do the Maximum Male Model
thank
with
God
him.
they pulled. Yeah, and unfortunately, they ruined that with LA.
I'm like, I'm glad Adam Cole left. LA Knight should have left.
I mean, yeah, you would think, or LA could have gone elsewhere and actually wrestled. Because, like we said, like WWE isn't one it once was. They'd be the end all be all to your career. We're seeing like growth of other companies and other promotions. Just that's real, really showing what you can do. I mean, think about it. You got Mexico, who let's be real, been very known to produce tremendous amount of talent. I mean, think about it. Kingo took Kenny Omega to the fucking limit, taking a 630 right through the fucking table. Like, goddamn.
Dude.
Oh,
dude.
That match, I mean, I thought that overseeded expectations the way how that finished. Even though, despite the fact, that one little when he had no one home on that 630 inside the ring, damn it. I mean, sheesh. But I mean, now it's interesting. And going back to AEW though, that the ending was a little bit intriguing though with Hangman Adam Page. A little bit. I want to kind of.
And to me, I'm thinking, is Kenny going to turn heel again? What's going to happen? Then there's like reports that Kenny's going to turn on Don, and Don's going to turn Takeshita to heel because he's been trying to recruit him. So I'm not sure what they're going to do.
And whatever it is, if they have a good plan in motion, I'm all for it. Because let's be real, Kenny Omega, even as much as entertaining he is, and let's be real, he has his funny moments in New Japan. Oh, jeez. When he was just the cleaner.
Dude, I remember one time he showed up to an ROH show with a freaking broom, and he was singing his own goddamn theme song. It was hilarious as hell.
It really, that's just Kenny. That's why I think Kenny Omega, has done very well for himself. The same with some of the Young Bucks. You got to get the Young Bucks a lot of credit too. Went from Jobber.
Always have been impressive. A lot of people don't like them because they're a spot fest. But
like you said, that kind of brings going back to your point.
It goes back to my point that this is wrestling now. You have a mashup of styles now. This is not just standard collar and elbow tie up, arm bar, and a lot of this
Yeah,
other.
and
Yeah, you
all
still
this
have that
stuff. Because
style,
like I said,
but
because it's
you
like,
have different. You have different, styles in wrestling now. You have that high
I mean,
flying
look,
style, which is the Young Bucks.
you got the lucha libres becoming out of a bit of a popular form of wrestling coming into the states because
That's the high
of,
flying. That's the high flying style.
and you got Japanese strong style with Takeshita.
Yeah, you got that strong style. You got
Who else
your
am I
standard.
thinking of?
You have your standard
Because
wrestling
like there's
with
a lot of
most of these
style,
people.
and a lot of times, there's some styles that do match up pretty well. I mean, we've seen it over the last few handful of years that some matchups sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but they still put on good matches regardless, no matter if they work or not. I mean,
And
it's
it,
like,
and if you notice over the years, wrestling's gotten more faster paced because a
yeah,
lot of your wrestlers now have that speed and agility now.
yeah, absolutely. And you're seeing like, we may not be seeing like say, watching the AAA and whatnot, but we're hearing some guys like there's some guys kind of getting across our radar that no one really talks about. Like I said, with the King, though, the AAA Mega Champion, no one really knows who the hell he was. Even though I've watched a little bit of his matches in AAA, the dude was fucking entertaining as hell. I mean, look at last night on AEW Dynamite, showed it. He showed the fuck out. That
Yeah,
crowd. I mean, if you can't tell me,
but here's the thing though.
and yeah, good point.
The reason why vignettes died off is because everybody's got access to the internet, so they could always just Google who the hell these people are.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
why vignettes aren't a thing now. But it kind of kills wrestling in a sense because
It kind of kills
not a
that
lot of
mystique
people,
of it.
you lose that mystique. You lose that. Oh, I know who this guy is. I don't have to search him up. You're making your fans do all the hard work of figuring out who the hell this guy is or who the hell this female is, who the hell this person is.
Like who's yeah, exactly. Who's who and stuff like that. But I mean even though that's the case nowadays, but I, I mean it still doesn't matter the fact that we've seen other wrestlers are talented as hell because of
Yeah.
that. So I mean it's just kind of how we live in the days of professional wrestling nowadays.
Yep.
But I mean, especially we got some really big shows coming up as well in terms of the pay per view wise. Got Super Card of Honor this Friday, WrestleMania, Stand to Deliver for NXT for those NXT people out there.
Oh wait, did you say super? Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we got Oh damn. Oh, I'm glad we're skipping SmackDown next week
Oh geez.
because they chose the date for Supercard
Yep.
Friday. So they have Ring
But
of Honor pay-per-views competing with SmackDown.
okay.
That's interesting. I just saw the date on the thing because they had like the pay-per-view name and the date like flashing on the
Yeah.
video screens in the arena.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just saw it. So they have their pay-per-views competing with SmackDown.
Absolutely. And I think the way that I mean, I really like what Ring of Honor has been. Now granted, yes. I mean, yes. Ring of Honor fans, yes. I know me and Tar kind of slacked a little bit, so yeah, yeah. So
I
we're trying.
Here's the thing. I only missed last week's episode.
But I mean, thank God we had that at the fingertips, so we could actually get caught up, so we don't have to really miss out on much. And trust me too, if you're looking to get Ring of Honor Cup, I highly recommend it because you want to like watch some old stuff from like from now, so back say 2011. I mean, damn, they got everything for you for that, and it's fantastic.
No, if you want
Um,
to watch the classic, Bryan Danielson stuff, you can.
oh, and yeah, and it's there, and like I said, I cannot wait for Super Card of Honor because man, they're really putting up a really good show. From what I've been hearing, they're actually built that show's gonna be built really good for Friday. They about
Yeah,
to get the Reach for the Sky ladder match. Oh, good lord, that's gonna be fun.
that's going to be emotional as hell though because of what
Oh
that
yeah,
means honoring Jay Briscoe with the ladder match.
absolutely. And the fact that you also have, and for those who don't know, actually, this is where I actually found it interesting. But this is not the first time that both Samoa Joe and uh, Mark Briscoe actually kind of fought. Their rivalry goes back deep years in
Yeah.
the early days. I think that's like, damn.
But actually, I feel like this also stems from when Jay Briscoe took the world title off of him.
Oh
At one-
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But I mean, shit. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I can't wait for that show.
Eh, oh,
Sorry
another
for
guy that I forgot to mention.
I'm watching Ring of Honor and streaming at the same time. So like,
Oh, another guy that I thought and I just speaking of Samoa Joe, that's another guy that the WWE freaking dropped the ball on. Like, damn
bro,
it!
what? There's no way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look that up. I
Yo,
don't know
honestly, that would actually be kind of baller.
because it's like, and again though, but no, I'll talk more on that. Probably Monday afternoon on my lunch on the lunchtime show because that's something I want to that's intriguing. But like I said, it's gonna be another story for another day. But I got nothing else to add other than the fact that
Bro, it's
you
real.
know,
Bro, it's real. He's got partial ownership.
hey, look,
Partial
and
ownership of the Aces. That's honestly kind of cool.
I think about it too. Look at like I said, we'll talk more on that at a later date because I feel like because I want to get my 2 cents in that since let's be honest, I do own the league pass each and every year for the
Yo,
WNBA, so that's gonna be fucking fantastic. Um, oh, excuse me. But like I said, in terms of the wrestling product, you know, hasn't been well. Let's be honest, there's some shows have been want to be forgettable, sure,
Raw.
but know that
Raw.
yeah, but watch, but um, we've seen guys like Claudio Castagnoli been killing it since leaving WWE. Samoa Joe finally become what we expected him to be. Um, I mean, not just no, I know it's name too, but we're just seeing guys that are making the best opportunity they possibly can.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Randy
Randy
hates
is gonna be mad.
ET12,
Dude, he
but
hates Tom Brady. He hates Tom Brady to the ends of the
no
goddamn
hell.
earth. To the ends of the
But
goddamn earth, he hates Tom Brady.
yeah, but like I said, you got Supercard of Honor that's coming the next Friday. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not going to be there. Hopefully, I think hopefully Tyler Earl will hold that down. But we'll be
Yeah,
back in
I'll
again.
ask him. I'll ask him. I didn't even ask him yet. You're already promoting that it's gonna be me and Earl. I didn't even ask him yet.
But yeah, but
So that's gonna
speaking of
hang in the balance. So Earl, if
that's
you're
one thing you
watching,
have
if
to
you
know.
want to come on and do Supercar with me, you can. So,
But in terms like the Ring of
but
Honor product
I'll
itself,
ask you on Messenger. So to make sure.
yeah. But but in terms like the actual Ring of Honor TV, meantime, we got you guys covered on that through through Honor Club. Um,
Should
yeah,
we
I think it's
do
like
should we
every
do Ring of Honor TV watch-alongs?
yeah, that's kind of the idea. I want to bring the idea. So that's kind of the idea.
Honestly, I'm in. I'm so in. I'm not gonna start it this week.
Yeah.
Because
So
obviously,
I
because obviously we're just finishing up with this, but next week we could definitely do it. But then
yeah.
you want to just move this podcast to a different day or a different time.
Mm, yeah, I was thinking we could push it back and or do this a lot earlier if that's the case.
Yeah,
And
because
I
I
wouldn't
want
mind. So we'll
to where I can have like free time before I stream. So I want to stream back to back like that,
no,
where it's
yeah.
like six
So I
o'clock, we end
mean,
at 7, and we do Ring of Honor.
yeah. But I was thinking, maybe we could probably do maybe 5 o'clock, be done by
Yeah, we'll do.
6,
Yeah, be done by 6,
and you have
and
that one
then
hour period, and then we can get ready for Ring of Honor.
yep.
But like I said, we got a lot of stuff planned, especially even the pro wrestling. Now, welcome introducing Ring of Honor Watch Party. So it's gonna be a lot of fun since
Oh
Ring of
yeah,
Honor.
man, it is.
But with that being said, I got nothing else to add. I thought it was a really good show today. Like I said, not really much news to go over, and obviously Raw was actually forgettable as fucking hell. There was no NXT this week. I'm not going to be available for next week for NXT because I'm going to be out for celebrating my 26th birthday. Um,
If you
later
want me to
on,
hold the fort down for NXT next week, I'll do it.
nah, because by the time,
Okay.
yeah, but I'll probably have it recorded and definitely watch it back and get caught up on that. But 3 o'clock though, 3 o'clock on Tuesday. If anyone wants to come on, we can celebrate my birthday together.
Oh,
Do
well, I'm
all our
definitely
birthday shit.
down. You wouldn't know I ain't missing that.
Oh yeah, like I said, we got a lot of stuff coming up, and stuff like that. But like I said, I got nothing else to add. But with that being said, Tyler, any final thoughts before we go out of get up out of this bitch? Tyler? Eh, well, like I said, in terms of the wrestling news, really not much to go over other than what we had to take cover or over. But Tyler, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
I'm happy we're back on the Ring of Honor train. Um, First time since what, 2016, 27?
I think
Actually, no,
2016.
since 2019. I was put off by 2020. I didn't watch much in 2020,
Yeah,
but first time since 2019 that I've been into Ring of Honor.
because it's interesting if like who was actually on the roster, and we can actually kind of get to know
Also,
some of most of.
Coffee Gate caused the heel turn
Oh my, oh my
last
God.
week. Coffee Gate did
Okay,
in fact cause a heel turn in Ring of Honor.
but with that being said, we'll see you guys next week after we stream and we'll see you guys on our first Ring of Honor watch party. And peace.
Peace.